Hey everybody, it's motomattman. Just wanted to give you a little heads up about what this video is before it actually gets started. This is the trip to the IX Center to go to the Progressive International Motorcycle Show. And in this video is the drive there and Mrs. Motomattman and I discussing what we're hoping to see and do once we get there. Just another little heads up, towards the end of the video, the view out of the windshield, you'll see this is another one of my picture-in-picture videos with the view out of the windshield, as you can see, and then Mrs. Motomattman in the upper right-hand corner. When we get closer to the IX Center, for some reason the Hero session, which is what I was using to shoot out the windshield, for some reason that it stops. The battery didn't die because I was able to use it for the entire trip home without recharging it. So I don't know what the deal was. But anyway, it'll switch from the view out of the windshield with Mrs. Motomattman in the upper right-hand corner to full screen of Mrs. Motomattman. I'm sure everybody's going to be really upset that they can't see out the windshield as we pull up to the IX Center, that you have to look at Mrs. Motomattman. But I apologize. That's just the way it ended up being. But anyway, I hope everybody enjoys. Thank you.
Hello.
Hey YouTube, it's motomattman.
And Mrs. Motomattman.
And we just got on the highway. We're headed to the Progressive International Motorcycle Show at the IX Center in Cleveland. It's technically not Cleveland.
Brook Park or something.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. It's in Brook Park. And there was actually a bunch of controversy a few years ago about where it actually was. And there was even talk, I don't know, about 10 years ago about them tearing it down. Which would have been a real shame because there's a lot of things, not just the Progressive International Motorcycle Show that's there.
Home and garden shows.
Yeah, home and garden shows there.
Bridal fairs. Actually, there's a bridal fair going on at the same time as the motorcycle show, just on the other half of it.
There's also the Cleveland International Auto Show that happens there as well. There's a lot of stuff that goes.
Boat show, RV and boat show.
Yeah, that was just, I think, last week. Yeah. And I think it's next week that is the auto show. But anyway, we're headed there to check it out. I don't really have anything specific that I'm wanting to look at this year. I don't know, do you have anything specific you're wanting to check out?
Well, I always like to check out the Triumph bikes if they had those set up. If you remember, my dad had Triumph bikes. There's just different bikes that sometimes when I see them, I just want to sit on them. You know, I just want to see the feel, want to feel the weight, kind of see if it's, you know, I'm a short girl, so I want to see, you know, is this a bike that I can handle or is it not? And just to kind of get the feel. I like to do the wheelie, like I did last year. Do the wheelie bike. And they had that electric bike set up where you could ride it around last year, and I did not do that. But I think I might try that this year.
Yeah, that's now that you mention it, I'm interested in checking out the electric bikes and seeing what all bikes they have there. You know, obviously, I'm pretty sure that Harley will have the live wire. Oh, and speaking of electric things, there goes a Tesla about to get in behind. Which I really think that the gaining popularity of the Tesla has, and the technology that's come along with the Tesla, has helped with the idea of the electric bikes.
and the technology that goes into the electric bikes. It also opens up more charging stations. So yeah, I do want to check out that, and I want to check out some of the dual purpose bikes. I've mentioned several times that it's the perfect bike for me this time of year. I mean, it's raining today, so it wouldn't be no bike is really the perfect bike today. But the driveway still has quite a bit of ice on the driveway, so a dual purpose would be nice. Not that I could get up the driveway better, but I could ride up the yard beside the driveway on a dual sport. So checking out that, and then of course they always have, like, normally Yamaha at their booth has a bike that Rossi has used, or at least a replica. Honda a lot of times has Marc Marquez bike there, so we'll check that out. And then some of the more exotics. Oh, and also, I've talked about in one of my moto vlogs, I talked about a guy by the name of Jesse Serpan, who is local to us. He lives in just a town over from us, Chardon, which you've seen me go through the Chardon Square. Anytime you see me, pretty much anytime you see me ride to a store like Walmart or whatever, I'm in Chardon. But Jesse Serpan is an award-winning bike builder, and he's going to have one of his bikes entered in the chopper, whatever, the custom bike competition that goes along with it. So we're definitely going to be looking for that. And when we find that, I will post pictures of that. But it's pretty cool. I mean, he's a younger guy. I want to say the first time that we saw him on TV, he was still in high school or just out of high school, competing in one of those chopper build-off things.
I believe so. Don't believe it, but I believe so.
But he's also nice. I mean, he gives back too. I mean, he gives back to the career center that he attended when he was in high school, and teaches welding at one of our local schools, local colleges, at this point. But anyway, that's pretty much what my biggest thing that I'm looking at. Oh, and looking to see if they've got a battery that doesn't cost an arm and a leg for my Sporty. It's ridiculous, over $100 for just a lead acid battery for Sportster. So we'll be checking that out too.
Well, one of the things, this is like when we went to the IMS. There's things that you see that you didn't know you would see. You would take that local over there.
Okay. Why are you checking on? I'm trying to get over.
But yeah, I mean, because like when you go to IMS, there was stuff that I wasn't necessarily expecting to be there, and just different things. And so it'll be the same thing with us. There'll be things that'll be there that I wasn't necessarily expecting or looking to see.
The other thing is it's always kind of cool to check out. They have the vintage bikes that are there. There's a local vintage bike club. And it's something that I keep saying that I need to get involved with, because my Yamaha fits into that. I'll be perfectly honest, it's getting real close that my Honda will be a vintage bike too. And I guess that all depends on how you classify it. If it's 20 years or 25 years. If you classify it at 20 years, then my Honda fits in that. If it's 25 years, I got 2 years to go. But it's always cool because you never know what you're going to see, and it's also cool because you never know who you're going to see. I mean, last year we ran into a couple other motovloggers there, 650E, and talk to him for a little bit, and Throttle Lock, both of which are kind of local to us. They're both down in the Akron area, so they're not far away. This year than most is our kids, because we had other things we had to do last night. Our kids spent the night at Mrs. motomattman's parents' farm, so we're without the kids this trip. And actually, it seems to be getting to be like every other year kind of thing that we get to go without the kids, because we went 2 years ago without the girls.
Right.
Now, I'll be honest, they do like to go and check out the bikes too, but this year we got the VIP passes and all of that. And like I said, last night what we had to do actually was there was a fundraiser for our oldest daughter's travel softball team, and what it was unloading a semi full of gymnastics equipment and helping to set up for a gymnastics meet this weekend. And it was definitely something that especially the 6-year-old did not need to be with us for. And then Sunday we're going to help tear it all down and load it all up. And it wasn't just us. There were quite a few parents from our daughter's team that were there helping, and some other people that were helping out. And I'll be perfectly honest, it didn't seem like that big a deal when we were doing it, but I woke up this morning and my neck and shoulders are sore from doing it.
Yeah, it was one of those things where they really needed everybody that volunteered to be able to carry 50 pounds or more. And so more of the dads volunteered than the moms, but there were a couple moms there in addition to myself. So we typically teamed up on carrying some of the items, where normally you would have one guy on one end carrying some things. We would pair up and have 2 women on one end carrying. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not as strong as you. I can't carry as much. And the other thing is there were some things that the guys were carrying all up on their shoulders, and the one mom and I laughed and we said, well, what would happen with us is you guys would have it way up high and we wouldn't even be able to reach it because we're so short compared. So, but anyway, needless to say, girls are not with us, and that's one of the reasons. And we are sore and tired.
Well, I was the genius that the guy asked for a volunteer to come up and help in the truck. And at the time I volunteered to help in the truck, it was pretty easy. They were big things that I was helping him slide out, and then you would have 4 guys carry it. Well, it went from that to smaller, heavy things, and while I thought I was being smart by being up in the truck, it ended up that I had to pick up and carry, not a long distance, but had to pick up and carry every single thing that was on the truck. Whereas the other guys, there would be a line, and you would have to wait in line to get the thing that you were going to carry. So they carried 1 out of every 15 things that came off the truck. So, not the smartest move on my part.
I was pretty smart though, because when I would be waiting in line and I would see something up ahead that looked like totally my size to carry, I would just jump ahead in line ahead of the guys and be like, oh, I'll carry this one for ya. I think I can handle this one. So I was trying to get to carry things that were really my size.
Well, the guys were all being good about it and making sure that the lighter stuff got handed to the women anyway.
Yeah. But anyway, that's why.
Yeah. Billboards for the same thing back to back. Billboard for Quaker Steak and Lube. That's the Quaker Steak and Lube, though, I'm sure, that has the really big white thing. The Quaker Steak and Lube near us has a bike night too. It's a smaller bike night. We don't get to go to it a whole lot because they keep changing depending on which year, what night of the week it is. Like some years it's Wednesday, some years it's Thursday. And the crazy thing has been is whenever it's on Wednesday, that happens to be the night that our daughter has softball practice. The years that it's been on Thursday, hey, guess what? That year she's got softball practice on Thursday. So it makes it kind of tough to be able to get there. Because by the time her softball practice is done, it's over. And if you already hadn't been able to tell from some of the previous videos or Instagram posts or whatever, right now in our household, softball comes first. Pretty much above just about everything other than, I was going to say sleeping and eating, but sometimes it takes the place of that too. Because during tournament season, it's not uncommon for us to be up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning to get ready to head out to a tournament. So yeah, sometimes it even trumps sleep. I know the scenery is pretty boring here, but fortunately, we're on the highway through Cleveland. Not really a whole lot to see right at this point. At some point up here, we'll go past the downtown area. You'll be able to see the Progressive Field and Quicken Loans Arena. We'll be off on the right hand side when we get to there. You don't see Cleveland Browns Stadium or the Rock Hall or anything from the highway. At least not this portion of it. And it's just light enough. The terminal tower doesn't appear to be lit up. Cleveland used to be second only to Detroit with building cars. But it was actually, believe it or not, built up around the oil industry. Rockefeller was from the Cleveland area, and of course was the founder of Standard Oil. And so it built up around oil refining and the lake itself, because the lake, is our border between us and Canada. So there was a lot of shipping that was done on the lake, kind of like on the Atlantic or the Pacific Ocean. Now, not as much as there once was, but there still is. And that's the lake is over here to the right-hand side. I don't know how much you're going to be able to see it, but it is over here. And with the auto industry being as big as what it was here, just about an hour south of Cleveland is Akron. And Akron was the rubber capital of the world. And that's where Firestone, Goodyear, BF Goodrich, all of your major tire manufacturers were based in Akron. The corporate offices for Goodyear and Bridgestone are still Bridgestone Firestone, because Bridgestone bought Firestone, are still in Akron. In the other lane. But they don't build as many tires there as they once did. Now it's pretty much just race tires, which is kind of goofy, to be honest with you, that Goodyear builds their race tires in Akron when they have a tire plant in Charlotte. And the reason I say that's goofy is because they build the race tires in Akron, and then they load them up on trucks and ship them down to Charlotte to test them at Charlotte Motor Speedway, which is actually not in Charlotte, but in Concord, North Carolina. But anyway, they ship them down there to test. And to me, it would make a whole lot more sense if they built the the race tires in Charlotte and maybe built just regular passenger tires in Akron, because if they built the race tires in Charlotte, they wouldn't have to ship them anywhere to test them. And the majority of race tires they're building are for NASCAR, and over 90% of the race teams for NASCAR are based in the Charlotte area. So it's kind of goofy. But anyway. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is just down and around the corner. Like I said before, you're not going to be able to see it from here. This little road off to the right that's along that fence for that airport, Berkeley Front Airport, would take you there. If you went straight where we're turning, bearing off to the left, you could get down to the Rock as well.
And Cleveland Brown Stadium.
Yeah, Cleveland Brown Stadium is down there too. Yeah. But the Rock Hall I've mentioned in videos before. If you've never been there, it's some place you want to go, no matter what your favorite genre of music is. Just about every genre is actually pretty well represented at the Rock Hall. I mean, every year there's controversy with the new inductees, because you have people like this year, I want to say Biggie Smalls was inducted, but Pat Benatar wasn't. Well, Biggie doesn't really, to me, fit the quote-unquote term rock. And when it comes to female vocalists, there aren't a whole lot of female vocalists in the history of rock music that fit the term rock vocalist better than Pat Benatar. I mean, I Janis Joplin, Stevie Nicks maybe, but the list is very small.
Yeah, the list is very short.
But she didn't make it in, but Biggie did. So I don't know. I mean, and it took like forever for AC/DC to get into Rock Hall. You know, Nirvana was inducted into the Rock Hall, and it took like 8 years before Pearl Jam was inducted into the Rock Hall. And as much as I like Nirvana, I don't know that Nirvana would have gotten as big as they did without Pearl Jam, because it became a movement. The grunge thing became a movement, and it doesn't become a movement with just one act.
There's Progressive Field on the right.
Yeah, that's where the Cleveland Indians play.
And then right next to it, which I don't know what you'll be able to see.
And probably not. Is
Rocket Mortgage Field
Rocket
House.
Mortgage Field House. So yeah, it's no longer
new
quick.
name.
Yeah, it's no
And
longer.
the Jack is right next to it.
Yeah, the casino.
I can't help but say that I'm kind of happy that the Silver Ranger moved over.
Yeah.
They were annoying me.
Yeah, the Jack, which is a casino, is there. And the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. I mean, it was Quicken Loans Arena. It used to be Gund Arena, named after Gordon Gund, the guy that actually built it, that owned the Cavaliers at the time that they moved into that new arena. But Quicken Loans, Rocket Mortgage, they're the same company. But anyway, the guy that owns Quicken Loans, Rocket Mortgage, whatever, owns the Cavs. So I guess he could name the arena, the field house, whatever he wants to name it. And here would be the exit we'd be taking if we were going to Columbus, which this summer, in case you don't know yet, AIM Expo will be in Columbus again, which we went last summer and had a good time. It's kind of like the International Motorcycle Show, but not really. More actual manufacturers are there with representatives, not just motorcycle manufacturers, but gear and whatnot.
No, if this lane goes, you're fine. Sorry.
This lane does go, but
I couldn't see over there.
yeah, I couldn't get, all three went, but I couldn't get over because the Dodge was getting over. But anyway,
Sorry.
the AIM Expo is more like a trade show thing for motorcycles than the International Motorcycle Show is. It's the manufacturers actually bring bikes there as opposed to dealers bringing bikes, which is something that I've gotten a lot of feedback on Instagram and on YouTube about the fact that we were going to the International Motorcycle Show. A lot of people saying that they went to theirs that had already happened, DC, Dallas, so forth, New York City, and this manufacturer wasn't there, that manufacturer wasn't there. But here's the way that it works, in case you don't know, and this is the way it always has worked. The manufacturers lend support to the dealers. So the dealers that are local to the show that want to be there go there and bring their bikes, and the manufacturers supply the backdrop and all of the techie stuff for with a display, and in a lot of cases supply the girls that work the booths and whatnot. If there's more than one dealer that wants to be there, it's then up to the manufacturer to make the determination of which dealer it will be. So if you went to the International Motorcycle Show and you were hoping to see Aprilla, let's say, and you got there and you were disappointed because Aprilla wasn't there, that's not Aprilla's fault. That's not the Progressive International Motorcycle Show's fault. That's the fault of your local Aprilla dealer or dealers. If you have one.
You may not have one in your area.
Yeah. But if you do have one in the area and the dealer's not there, that's on them. That's not on the show itself or on the manufacturer. That's on the dealers that they're not there. Now, there's a pretty good chance, I'll be perfectly honest with you, that there may not be an Aprilla setup. There may not be a Ducati setup at the one we're going to. Which, will that disappoint me? Yeah, because those are two bikes that are two manufacturers that I'm interested in. Always have been. To be perfectly honest with you, I have a thing for Italian vehicles, always have. My dream car from the time I was a little kid has always been a 1958 Ferrari Testarossa. For a long time, I had Fiat Spiders, absolutely loved them. There's something that's just innately sexy about Italian design. And when it comes to like the Ducati, like the V4, it's an Italian version, a modern Italian version of my VFR. It's got a V4 engine. Most of them are red, and they have the single-sided swing arm, just like my VFR. The Aprilla, again, a V4. I absolutely love that engine configuration. Right up until the time I have to deal with something that has to do with the exhaust, because whether it's an Italian bike or a Japanese bike, if it's got a V4, the exhaust looks like spaghetti underneath. But anyway, they may or may not be there. Just a little insight into what the deal is with whether or not the manufacturer you want to see is there, or the bike for that matter. Because I guarantee you Honda's going to be there, but I can also pretty much guarantee you that Honda is not going to have a VFR there. Because for some reason, I don't know if it's in the U.S. now, the entire U.S., or if it's just our area, you don't find new VFRs. The dealers don't put them on the showroom floor. They're not at the bike shows. I don't know what the deal is, and it's been this way probably 15 years. Yeah, it was a nice little pickup. The Chevy in front of us has a brick underneath the accelerator pedal.
We're going to follow Route 237 around to pass this guy. You've got 1.2 miles before anything happens. Thank you.
TB50. broad view hikes. Okay. All right, we won't play that game. Side of Cleveland was to go to Cycle Gear to get mine and Mrs. Motomattman's new riding boots, to get my Alpine Stars and Shorty boots, which I don't have on driving right now. I am going to change into them when we get parked, because I am going to test to see how comfortable they actually are off the bike walking around.
I might not.
And she has hers on. Hers are more the high top tennis shoe looking boots that have become very popular. I also like those and would like to get a pair at some point. But I'll be perfectly honest with you, I've been riding quite literally my whole life. I got my first dirt bike when I was 5. So I've been riding my whole life, and other than dedicated track boots that I got quite a few years ago, go with a tracksuit when a buddy of mine and I used to do track days when I lived in Virginia Beach. I never wear riding boots to ride in. I've always worn high tops, and I know that's not the proper footwear. Well, they show Aprilia on the sign. If they don't have it, since it's on the flashing sign, if Aprilia's not here, I'll grab hold of somebody and tell them it's false advertisement, because Aprilia's here. And the Aprilia that I have the interest in is the RSV4 factory. The VIP pass thing, just for the fact that we have to be here early and we're not in the line of traffic.
That Chevy truck is here too.
Yeah, I saw that. Okay. There's somebody here.
Oh, check credit cards, but mine's in the back.
Well, I'm actually going to use that.
Do you want me to use my card? Yep.
Yeah, hang on a second. I'm just gonna hand. Good morning. I'm just gonna hand you my debit card, but it's like cracking. Oh no, it works, but the problem. Oh no, everywhere I've taken it, it reads it. It's like split in the middle of it, not through the stripe or anything. But I went to the bank to try to get a new one, and the bank said, "Oh yeah, we can get you a new one but you can only use it at the ATM machine. It'll be 6 to 8 weeks before you get the other one. And I'm like, dude, nobody carries cash. What am I supposed to do? Thank you. Wow, and you're gonna get close parking. We're not gonna walk 8,000 miles away in the rain and snow. And the rain has maybe not completely stopped, but it's let up quite a bit. This is nice. Right here.
It's fine. Works for me.
Yeah, because I'm not one of those people that has to back in. All right, everybody, until later, we're going to go in here and check it out.